good evening, sir. My name is Nanthini Vijayan. Today, I'm going to present about what is internal auditing. So, internal auditing evaluate a company's internal controls, including its corporate governance and accounting process. They ensure compliance with laws and regulation and help to maintain accurate and timely financial reporting and data collection. Internal audits also provide management with the tools necessary to attain operational efficiency by identifying problems and correcting lapses before they are discovered in an external audit. So, an internal audit offers risk management and evaluates the effectiveness of company's internal controls, corporate governance, and accounting process. So basically, internal audit is about documents, interviews, procedures, testing, system, risk, and communication. So there are several internal audit benefits that we can have the benefit with if we imply the internal audit in our company, like protect internal network, reduce risk of data breaches, measure practice and processes, monitor mobile security, and maintain government compliance. So basically, there are few steps of internal auditing process. The first is risk assessment and audit plan development. So it's like information gathering and planning. So normally auditor will gather all the informations and started to do the planning for internal audit reporting. Then they will proceed to internal audit program. After the internal audit program, they will proceed to audit program execution and documentation. Like they will do what is necessary about documentation and all. And after that, they will do the audit report development and follow up all the procedures and given. Finally, they will submit the report to audit committee, like board reporting. So basically, internal audit normally will be done by employees of the company, and they will submit this report to board of directors and member of management. So internal audits is all about internal controls related to governance, risk management, and process improvement. So the main purpose of internal audit performs is to assess and improve the effectiveness of governance, risk management, and control over critical process, and to provide the board and management with information assurance related to their duties. So basically, there are 5 types of internal audits. The first one is compliance audit. So compliance audits evaluate compliance with applicable laws, regulations, policies, and procedures. Some of these regulations may have a significant impact of companies' financial well-being. Failure to comply with some laws such as the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act (FCPA) or General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR) may result in millions of dollars in fines or preclude a company from doing business in certain jurisdictions. Then the second one is environmental audit. Environmental audit assess the impact of a company's operation on the environment. They may also assess the company's compliance with environmental laws and regulation. So the next is information technology audit. So basically, information technology audit may evaluate information systems and the underlying infrastructure to ensure the accuracy of their processing, the security and confidential customer information or intellectual property. They will typically include the assessment of general IT controls related to logical access and change management, system operation, backup and recovery. So the next is operational audits. Operational audit assess the organization's control mechanism for their overall efficiency and reliability. Finally, performance audit. So performance audit evaluate whether the organization is meeting the metrics set by the management in order to achieve the goals and objectives set forth by the board of directors. So basically there is two techniques of internal audits. Basically it's like internal assessment technique and analysis technique. So assessment techniques ensure an internal auditor gathers a full understanding of the internal control procedures and whether employees are complying with the internal control directives. So to avoid disrupting the daily workflow, auditors begin with indirect assessment techniques such as reviewing flowcharts, manuals, department control policies or other existing documentation lah. If documented procedure are not being followed, direct discussion with the department staff may be necessary. And the second technique is analysis technique. So auditing fieldwork procedures can include transaction matching, physical inventory count, audit trail calculation and account reconciliation as is required by law. Analysis techniques may test random data or target specific data if an auditor believes an internal control process need to be improved. So these are the main techniques for internal audit to perform a perfect internal audit. So finally, reporting procedure. So reporting procedure including planning, fieldwork, reporting and follow up. So during the planning process, the internal audit team will define the scope of objective, then review guidance relevant to audit, example like laws, regulations, industry standards, company policies and procedures like that, and review the results from previous audit and set a timeline and budget for the audit. After that, they will create an audit plan to be executed and identify the process owners to involve and schedule a kick-off meeting to commence the audit. So the next is fieldwork. Fieldwork is the actual act of auditing. So throughout this phase, the audit team will execute the audit plan. Usually includes interviewing key personnel to confirm an understanding of the process and controls, then reviewing relevant documents and certificates, for example like execution of the controls, testing the controls for a sample over a time of period, then documenting the work performed and identify expectation and recommendations. So the third one is reporting. Internal audit normally will draft the audit report during the reporting phase. So like the report should be written clearly and succinctly to avoid misinterpretation and to encourage the intended audience to actually read and understand the report given by the auditor. So findings should be accompanied by recommendations that are actionable and lead directly to process improvements. So the process of issuing an internal audit report should be include drafting the report, reviewing the draft with management to ensure the accuracy of findings, and issuance and distribution of the final report. So finally, like follow up. So the final stage is an important one that is often overlooked and neglected. So following up is critical to ensure that the recommendations have been implemented to address the findings identified, and this process should include appropriate follow up with process owners needing to implement the recommendation as well as board oversight of the company's overall status in addressing finding identified by internal audit. So if an organization fails to follow up on the implementation of recommendation, it is unlikely that the changes will be made lah. So that's all for internal auditing. Thank you, sir.